Next, sew the Highland Cattle's body and head together. First, stuff the body with stuffing cotton. Then, sew it onto the back of the eyes from rounds 8 to 13. Thread the yarn tail into the sewing needle. Weave an end on the body. The side with the yarn tail is sewn onto the back of the head on round 13. First, find round 13. First round. Second round. Third round. Fourth round. Fifth round. Sixth round. Seventh round. Eighth round. Ninth round. 10th round. 11th round. 12th round. 13th round. Insert needle from below round 13. Check if it is in the center of the back. Adjust a little. Then pass to above the 8th round. Find the 8th round. First round, second round. Third round. Fourth round. Fifth round. Sixth round. Seventh round. Eighth round. Pull out from above the 8th round. First, secure the top and bottom points of the body. Then thread back through the same position. Pull out from a suitable position on the side. Next, secure the left and right sides of the body. Then thread back. Thread to the other side. Four points are secured. Then, follow the contour of the last round of the body. Sew the body onto the head. After sewing one round, weave the yarn tail back and forth inside the fabric a few times. This step is to secure the yarn tail to prevent it from slipping. Cut off extra yarn tail. Make some adjustments. The head and body are now sewn together. Next, sew the forelimbs. Let's start by sewing the front legs. Add a small amount of stuffing cotton to the front legs. We will sew them to round 14 on both sides of the body. Thread the yarn tail of one front leg through the sewing needle. Find round 14 of the body. Count from the bottom. First round. Second round. Third round. Fourth round. Fifth and sixth rounds. Seventh round. Eighth, ninth and 10th rounds. 11th and 12th rounds. 13th and 14th rounds. This is the last round of the body. Insert from below round 14. Then secure both sides of the leg. Next, insert the needle through the same spot. Pull it out above round 14. Then attach the front leg forward on one side of the head. Pull the yarn through. Then insert the yarn back into the fabric from the same spot. After securing, weave the yarn tail back and forth inside the fabric several times. Cut the yarn. One front leg is sewn. Please sew the other front leg on the opposite side in the same way. This is how the Highland cattle looks after sewing both front legs. Next, sew the hind legs. The hind legs are sewn on both sides of the body at round 4. Oh, let's find round 4. First round. Second round, third round and fourth round. At the same height as the front leg on the fourth round. Insert the needle from below and bring it up. Then, secure one stitch. Insert and pull out from the same position again. After sewing, secure one stitch to move the back leg forward. Weave the yarn tail back and forth inside the fabric several times. Cut the yarn. One back leg of the Highland cattle is sewn. Use the same method to sew the other back leg on the opposite side. This is how it looks after both back legs are sewn. Next, sew the nose. The nose is sewn onto the head from rounds 8 to 11. Thread the yarn tail of the nose through the sewing needle. Locate round 8. Round 1. Round 6. Round 7. Here is round 8. Round 11. Insert the needle from the middle position on these 4 rounds above. First, secure both ends of the nose. Check to see if it is centered. Insert above the 8th round. Secure the top. Sew up to here, leaving a small opening. We need to add stuffing cotton. You can add stuffing cotton and finish on your own. After adding stuffing cotton, continue sewing until complete. Weave the yarn tail back and forth inside the nose several times. Cut the yarn. Make some adjustments. The nose is now fully sewn. Next, take out the khaki yarn and embroider the nostrils. Insert the needle at any position on the nose. Pull the yarn out from above the nose. This is the first round. This is the second round. Embroider the nostrils on the second round. Embroider a slanted, nostril crossing to the other side. Pull both yarn tails out from the same position. Cut the two yarn tails short. This can make it easier to tie a knot. Then cut off the yarns. Felt the yarn end into the fabric. The nostrils are now embroidered. Next, sew the horns onto the Highland cattle. After adding a small amount of stuffing cotton to the horns, we sew them onto rounds for 2/6 on both sides of the head. Round 1. Round 4. Insert the needle from above round 4. Bring the needle out from below round 6. First, secure the 2 points of the horn. Sew the horn onto the head following its contour. After sewing one round, weave the yarn tail back and forth inside the horn several times. Cut the yarn. One horn is sewn. Use the same method to sew the other horn on the opposite side. This is how it looks after sewing both horns. Next, sew on the tail. Thread one yarn tail of the tail into the sewing needle. The tail is sewn between rounds 4 and 5 of the body. First round. Round 5. Between these 2 rounds, pull the yarn tail through. Weave the yarn tail back and forth inside the fabric several times. Insert the other yarn tail into the sewing needle. Pass it through to the other side. Weave back and forth inside the fabric several times. Cut the yarn. The Highland Cattle's tail is now sewn. Next, sew the Highland Cattle's ears on. The ears are sewn below the horns. On the 7th round of the head. This is round 6. This is round 7. Insert the needle above the 7th round. Pass through below to secure the 2 points of the ear. Pull the yarn tail out from the same position. The ear is sewn on. Weave the yarn tail back and forth through the head several times. Cut the yarn. One ear is sewn on. Use the same method to sew the other ear on the opposite side. Next, make the hair on the head. First, cut some yarn segments. Place the yarn tail on your pinky finger. Wrap the yarn around for fingers. Here is a brief demonstration. You can wrap more times later. If it is not enough, continue wrapping and then cut it open. Remove the yarn segments. Use scissors to cut open both ends of the yarn. Cut it open the same way on the other side as well. Set it aside for later use. Take a 20-inch length of yarn on, thread it through the sewing needle. Now, let's sew on the hair. At the last stitch of the 3rd round. Attach a stitch marker. This will help you find the ending position later. Attach a stitch marker at this stitch. Insert the needle at any position between the 1st and 2nd rounds. Leave a longer yarn tail here. Take 4 strands of the yarn pieces you just cut. Place them on top of this sewing yarn. Then insert the needle back into the same position. Move to the next hole. Tighten. This secures one set of hair. Repeat the same process, take out for cut strands. Place them in this position, then clamp and thread through. Thread out through the next hole. This secures 2 sets of hair. Repeat the same process. Thread into the same position. Then thread out at the next stitch. Tighten. The third set is done. Take out the next set. Repeat the same process. Thread back into the same position. Thread out at the next stitch. The fourth set of hair is secured. Thread into the same position. Thread out at the next stitch. Sew around the groove between the first and second rounds. Sew up to the point where the stitch marker is attached. I will not do a full demonstration here. After sewing the hair to where the stitch marker is attached, remove the stitch marker. Thread the yarn tail through the same spot where the needle was inserted. Cut the yarns a little shorter to make it easier to tie knot. Pull both yarn tails tight and tie a knot. Cut the yarns. This is how the hair is made. Trim the hair. Trim the hair to your preferred length. This is how the Highland Cattle's hair looks after trimming. One Highland Cattle is now completed.